Today's video is a get ready with me glam edition, because who says you can't be that bit extra during quarantine? That is my theory for today anyway. I just feel like I really want something super pretty. I want something really bold, I want something really colourful, and I've got new brushes to try out today from Primark. This is the PS Pro range brushes, which I really love Primark's PS Pro range. I have numerous brushes from that range and they are just exceptional. The quality, they're generally between, I think it's like £2.50 and £3, and the brushes are just fantastic. I really like them, and I think that again just adds a bit extra to your makeup routine. But this brush I'll talk about first. I won't be using this one first. This is the 106 Buffing and Blending brush. This is a duo fibre brush, so it's quite dense on the black area and the white area is really sparse. So this should give, in theory, a flawless, beautiful buffing blending act. Up is the 110 Foundation and Contour Brush. Now, I love this style of brush where they are narrower and flat at the top. Excuse my hand, I explained yesterday about this and I still don't have anything to cover it, but it is so much better today. These brushes I think are great for controlling your foundation near your eyebrows, your eyes, and I find that they're great for the hard to reach areas. So I'm really looking forward to using this. Again, this brush is a great dupe for, I have my list. This is a great dupe for the Makeup Forever paint brush, which retails at £31. This is a great dupe. It's also a dupe for the Fenty Full Bodied Foundation brush, which retails at £34. And it's also a great dupe for the Sigma F77, which retails at £17.50. Now this brush was £3, and I've used similar brushes like this and they've also been dupes for the Sigma, Fenty, and it's also a great dupe for one of the flat kabuki brushes by Smith Cosmetics. So I'm going to be using this today to apply my foundation. I am back to using my Fuera foundation. This is a new bottle because I go through it like a hot meal basically. I use it all the time, but because my skin had been really bad, I was using a bit of a more lighter foundation. So this brush here is actually a good dupe for the Scott Barnes duo fibre brush, and I can't remember the price of that brush, but it's also a great dupe for the Sigma F50 brush, which retails at £21. 5 pence, and this again was only £3, and I've never used a duo fibre brush like this, except I had a MAC, I can't remember the name of it, but I had a MAC blusher brush which was very similar to this. It wasn't a duo fibre one, it was just very sparse and very light, and also the exact same colour. So I was in the midst of telling you guys about these brushes and then my phone rang. I had to take the call and then I forgot what I was talking about. But anyway, I think I've covered basis of the two brushes and the dupes that they're for. So I'm going to get started by applying my primer. For today's primer, it's the PS Prep and Perfect Glow Iridescent Primer. I really like this primer. It does give a nice glow to the skin. So it'd be great if you were using maybe a light to medium coverage foundation. It's very runny, but it dries very quickly. It doesn't smooth your skin really, but it is a great base to your foundation, especially if you have oilier skin and maybe a silicone based primer breaks you out or it just slides off your face. These types of primers would really suit. So one pump on the back of the hand. This foundation does oxidise, so you don't want to go spreading it all over your face. So you don't want to go spreading it all over your face and it start oxidising and drying down before you've had a chance to blend it out. I got two of these foundations on offer for £7. Previously I managed to get the Foyera foundation for around £2, but I couldn't find it this time for that price, and the seller that I got it from before was no longer selling it. So the next best thing was 2 for £7, free delivery. That was on eBay. But I was really impressed. I'm so impressed with the Foyera foundation that I was more than happy to pay £7 for 2 bottles, which is still fantastic. This brush is making really light work, the product. For those of you who have maybe followed me for a little while will know that I always apply my Foyera foundation with a damp sponge. And finishes depending on what style of brush you use, whether it's a fine brush, a dense brush, a flat brush or a dome brush. Really, if you're looking for, it depends what type of coverage you're looking for, it depends on what kind of brush you're going to go for, and that's why I like the variation that I have. It's taken me a while to build my foundation brush collection, but it really is worth having different methods to apply your makeup. So I'm applying this on my neck because I use the Factor 50 on my face and my neck, so my neck is generally a lot paler than the rest of my body, but you can see these really light coats of this foundation have covered up the majority of the discoloration on my face. I have pigmentation on my face, which is in clusters, especially up here near the brow, on my top lip and near my nose. So a full coverage foundation for me is my preferred level of coverage because it just really smooths that out. But this brush is brilliant, and the foundation, you can really see just how much it covers, how much redness is here. I have broken veins as well. I have broken veins up this section of my forehead, and it's covered everything up really well. This here is 2 spots in the one area and it's still raised. It was quite swollen, so it will look a bit more pronounced as if it's not covering, but it's just because this is really nice and it's so dense. But with it being a narrow top brush, you really get more precision, I find, compared to the normal round kabuki style brushes. This product always blends out really flawlessly, and it's a soft matte finish, which I think is quite natural and quite versatile, because if you do want to set it down or make it more matte, you can. If you have maybe particularly dry skin or you have more mature skin, you can totally leave it to dry down on its own, and it will give you a beautiful natural glow. And this foundation, I find, is great for someone who has skin like mine, where it changes. It can go from one extreme to the other. It can be normal for months, then it can go really oily, or it can go really dry. This foundation is really versatile for skin like that. It doesn't really upset the skin. So you really are a blank canvas, which when you're using a full coverage foundation, I'm just getting my powders ready to set this, but one thing that you will really find with a full coverage foundation is that one thing you're really going to find when you're using a full coverage foundation is that all the dimension is gone from your face, and you're going to need to use maybe bronzers, contours, highlights and blusher to really bring back the dimensions back into your face, and that can be really intimidating for some people until they get used to it. And it's one of them that when you first start using a full coverage foundation, it's trust the process, and once you get used to it, it can be very, very quick of a setting powder because they're less drying, and because they're a pressed foundation you can get more coverage also, and it will help keep everything in its place. And I'm going to be definitely setting this down today because I am going to be doing quite heavy contour, and I don't want colour grabbing happening because then I won't be able to blend it out. And it's going to look dirty, so you can see that a lot of that shine has gone. And bearing in mind, because my skin's been healing and on the mend, I have quite a heavy cream under this, so I look super shiny. Making sure that every bit is set. I get asked a lot about when I bring my makeup down my neck, do I get transfer onto my clothes? The answer is not really. And it depends on what foundation I've used, because if a foundation is a particularly dewy one, yes, more likely to have transfer, but you can seal it in with fixing spray, setting powders or hairspray for the neck area to stop it transferring onto your clothes or jewellery. But for me, I've never really had any problem with transfer. Just making sure that it's all blended out. So you're not really sweeping this off like you would a loose powder. There we go. All nice and matte down, but do you see just how different the skin looks? And because it's set down again with a pressed foundation, it just looks a bit more like skin as well. I'm going to be doing my eyes next. For my eyes, I'm obsessed with this palette. This is the Revolution's Pro Neutrals palette. I absolutely adore this and have been using it for the past few days because I can't get enough. And I'm going to be using my two usual brushes. I'm just going to wipe off any excess colour that may be on the brushes. I'm going to be doing quite a colourful deep eye look today because I want this to be super, super glam. The first colour I'm going in with is Cam, this shade right here, which is a matte purple. I want the eye look to be nice and strong, so I'm applying the shadow with a flat dense brush all over the lid, into the crease, slightly up onto the brow bone, extending it past the outer corner of my eye towards my brow. Making sure that this is nice and even. But I just adore this eyeshadow palette. I think it's so pretty and versatile, and I paid £12 for this palette from eBay. You can get them cheaper on the Revolution website, but they didn't have this particular palette. The next colour I'm going to go in with is, I'm going to try Karma. This shade here, again, this is a matte shade. It's a little bit more reddy purple than the colour we've just put on. I'm just hoping that this will help darken the outer corner of my eyelid and in the crease before I go in with even darker shades. I will be doing a beautiful winged look with my eyeliner as well, because I really want that, which is this shade down here. This is also a matte. It's a darker version of Karma. Again, focusing it on the outer corner. But this palette is so pigmented, it's not chalky in any way. I've pretty much used every colour in this so far over the past few days, and they are all pigmented and they're all beautiful. You know, sometimes when you get an eyeshadow palette and only a few colours work really well and the rest can be really chalky or there's no colour payoff. With this palette you get quality through and through, and they feel so luxurious as well. Again, making sure that there's no harsh edges to that colour we've put down, blending it into the crease at the top. Back to the dense brush, I'm going to be going in with Majestic, which is this beautiful deep matte purple. Again, focusing it on the outer corner of the eye, bringing it slightly out towards the end of the brow. And this is just going to give you that really deep purple look. You see, I'm also going to be putting this slightly into the inner corner of the eye to create almost like a I'm going to stick to using the colour Blitzed. This is a beautiful, beautiful high pigment. There we go. That's it done for the eyeshadow. I will disappear off camera. Just going to blend it. I'm getting colour grabbing happening here. Mustn't have set this eye too well, or it's just had a bit extra foundation put on. So I will apply my eyeliner and my mascara. I'm going to tidy up any bits that need tidied, and we'll come back and we'll finish the look. And we're back. Mascara, and I also applied lipstick because I felt quite blank without any, and I thought this shade really matched my hairband quite well. So for lipstick I used the PS matte lipstick in the shade Magenta. These lipsticks are beautiful. They're a nice soft matte that they don't dry your lips out, but they don't move and migrate halfway around your face. So next up I'm going to be doing my contour. Normally I would do my lipstick at the very end, but today I just wanted to be different. I am going to be using my Primark PS Pro flat-headed contour brush. This is fantastic for getting very beautiful, flawless contour. I'm using my Rimmel London Golden Bronze Sculpting palette. I'm only using the Sculpting shade, edge of my brush, tapping it on, and I'll be using the new Duo Fibre brush to blend that out. And as I said earlier on, because I have set this down with a powder, it'll blend out much easier and there shouldn't be, in theory, any colour grabbing. Keep looking at my mirror so I can really see what I'm doing. So I'm just making sure that my product is as deep as I'm looking to have it before I blend it out. Move the product too much, I just want it to blend out. That has done a really quick job at that. Normally I would go in with my Moda general purpose powder brush. That's what I've been using for a while to blend out contour. but this is given a really nice job. Now obviously you can build your contour up if you do want it to be that bit darker. It is entirely up to you. I'm using my Master Blush palette next. This is going to be for highlight and contour. Blush, not contour, blush. To apply my highlight, I'm going in with this small tapered highlight brush, and this is the shade I'm using for the highlight. This again is a really buildable highlight, but I'm not looking for something too strong. I'm just looking to help bring back the definition into my face. This is a very fine highlight also. It's not chunky or glittery. It's nice and blended with the clean side of the brush. There we go. That's just really nice. I'm actually going to use the same brush to apply my blush, just so that I get a really nice light colouring to the cheeks. For blush, I'm going to be using this shade here. This is my favourite blush colour. It's really nice and subtle. It goes really nice on a very light skin tone like mine. And I'm just lightly dusting that all over the cheekbone. I love a little bit of blush on the nose. It's a recent thing I've started doing, but I really think it's super cute. And that is it for the final look. This has really just been a glam inspired look. So that is it for today's look. I am super happy with the look. Today's look has been a vintage inspired look from the 1950s with an exaggerated winged liner and a red lipstick to match my hairband. So guys, if you haven't already, I hope you'll subscribe, ring the bell so you get all notifications of my upcoming videos, and I hope to see you again guys. So bye!